What's up, sports fans? PKSHVS here. You all know I'm a huge sports fan myself, but when it comes to sports games, I cannot say I'm as big of a fan. I do buy FIFA every year when it goes on sale, and occasionally, if my friends are playing it, I'll buy something else. But you always hear people complain about them. Oh, it's just a recycled piece of garbage. Oh, there's a bunch of, microtransactions and gambling, and it directly affects the play, which is all true. It's all very fair. It's all good reasons to never buy one of those. I've made videos on this in the past that got about 7 views. Those were huge. Uh, and I've got a little bit of a history with them. I've been playing FIFA every year since FIFA 13, so I missed out on all the golden generation quote unquote games. And well, let's just say I've gotten used to the complaints, but didn't realize how fucking awful they actually are. Today I'm going to be focusing in on two sports games in particular, because I actually don't think FIFA is as bad as these two when it comes to the majority of things, and that's Madden 21 and 2K21. Both of these games have only been brought to my attention because I saw them on streams. As far as how fucking terrible they are, it's honestly unbelievable. Let's start off with Madden 21. Madden 21 is one of the best reviewed games of all time, and there's good reason for that. They made these new realistic mechanics where sometimes, the player won't show up, sometimes the field won't show up, and although I do not have pictures for it, there was a glitch for a while, I think, where in one of the training modes the Madden 20 signs are still up. Now, obviously, this isn't just about the glitches. The game is literally copy and paste Madden 20 plus one new mode, which is called the Yard. From what I can gather, the Yard is just a microtransaction filled copy of whatever the fuck NBA's thing is that's so popular, which I'll get into later. And it's just an effort to squeeze some more money out of their players who aren't really that interested in Ultimate Team. As you probably know, the majority of the complaints with this game are the copy and paste style they've gone with for this one. They, didn't want to tread too far out of the boundaries, and it shows. All of the menus are pretty much the same. I mean, I have Madden 20. I bought it on sale, and I have not yet purchased Madden 21, and probably won't be for a while. But when you compare the two's menus, that it really screams everything you need to know. They slightly changed everything. It looks a little bit different, and all the things are still in the same places. There's no attempt to overhaul the UI in any way, no attempt to make it feel new. For one of the pictures of a player in Superstar KO, it is literally just a picture they took while he was on his old team that was in the old Madden, and they just photoshopped the jersey to be of his new team. The exact same fucking picture. Now, alongside everything I've mentioned and the abhorrently boring and indifferent gameplay of this game, the biggest thing that I found funny, at least, that really speaks to the quality, is the face of the franchise mode, which is like this really shitty story mode, basically, where you get to put your own custom character in there, but if he has long hair, fuck him, that's not an option. And you just throw them out into the football field. You start in high school. You get to name your own high school. Uh, Interestingly enough, and this is, again, we're just where the laziness shines through. Whole new thing, we're trying something different here. And they still put in the old icons that they used to use for Superstar KO teams and some of the icons they use for the expansion team, or no, sorry, not expansion teams, relocation teams in the franchise mode, meaning that you're just playing with an asset flipped version of those teams. It's very strange the way they've decided to do that. Obviously, it's to save time, and maybe you offer those as options, but make other logos. I feel like that you could use some of the kindergartners you used to write the story to draw you some new ones. You could come up with some pretty cool looking ones, but that's just my opinion. And speaking of kindergartners and stories, let's talk about the face of the franchise story. Basically, you start out in your high school, you're a transfer student, and you're there to play some football. Although I don't think you came with the intention of playing football, but they put you at backup QB behind some other dude. I fucking can't remember his name. Who cares? Uh, and big game, I don't fucking remember. I think it was big, anyways. Basically, he's sucking a real ass out there, and he gets some sort of injury, which ends up being revealed at halftime as a heart condition in what feels like something out of Attaway General, where they go back into the little area in the locker rooms and have a discussion with cardboard level acting. I could have acted in this for free, guys. I would have done it if you just put my name in the credits. I think I could have done a better job than a lot of these guys did. But yeah, anyways, it's revealed that he's got a heart condition and that he can't be playing. A dramatic twist. But he's playing anyways because he just wants to die. I don't know, he's suicidal or something. Um, and then either you snitch to the coach or the coach finds out and pulls him off and sends you on, and you're immediately greeted by rookie mode Madden, which is basically like passing against a turtle who's at the other controller. There's nothing. You can literally just lob it down the field to some guy. He'll be standing there wide open. You'll score a touchdown every time. It's a mess. It's terrible. Obviously, because it's rookie. But you should be able to play on a higher level of difficulty. Anyways, after you win the game, people are going crazy. Oh, this guy's the next big whatever. And then you just kind of keep playing through high school. You know, you play through the season. You have a good season, I think. Pretty mandatorily. And then, out of nowhere, the next season's about to begin. You know, we're getting ready. The other guy comes back. I don't know where he came from. You know, back from the hospital or whatever. His heart condition's ready, and he's ready to play some football again. God damn it, he's getting back out there. Nobody's gonna tell him what to do. And I don't. This is the most awkward thing ever. He just walks into the room while the quarterback and the coach are sitting there talking to each other about something. Your player, the quarterback, and he comes in there and he's like, "Oh, I'm ready to play some football, baby." And then the coach, for some reason, sides with him, even if you pick the option saying that it's your team now, you're the quarterback, and that should be pretty fucking obvious considering you just had a really good season. Uh, but for some reason, they end up playing him instead of you at quarterback, and you become a wide receiver, which just makes no sense. How the fuck do those two things correlate to each other? In fact, I can think of a lot of other positions that you could switch to a wide receiver, not a fucking quarterback. But anyways, now your guy goes and plays wide receiver, and that's just to set up you having options later, but it's such a dumb way of doing it. And that's about as far in as I ever watched, too. It's abhorrently boring, and unless it seriously fucking picks up, it just sucks ass. Speaking of kindergartners, let's talk about the NBA 2K21 fan base. These guys are fucking hypnotized into thinking that this game is good. It's honestly shocking. I get it, all the big players play it, and it's kind of a similar thing with FIFA and Madden. But with FIFA and Madden, at least the communities know that the game is pretty bad, even if they do buy it. With NBA, they're living in like a different reality than everybody else. They can't see that putting a dead man on the cover of the most expensive version to get you to buy it isn't a like the fact that there was no complaining from the community about that says so fucking much. Now, I was watching a little bit of this as well, and the story was pretty much just as awful, but it was a little bit more entertainingly awful. The characters' eyes could never stay inside of their eyelids, and there was a facial scan feature that was not working fantastically. Uh, but at least it was kind of entertaining. When it really fucking picks up is when you realize the upgrade system for your personal player in offline and online is insanely slow. I watched again. This guy probably played 7 hours. He got up to like a 64 overall, which for anyone that doesn't know is stupidly low. Meaning that you have to grind super hard to get the VC, which are their little gold doubloons. You got to get enough of those to just to get an upgrade to your player to push them somewhere over 64. Which, you know, you can grind for very slowly and get like one upgrade every 2 or 3 games. Or you can just pay for it, you know, probably lay down a couple $100, mortgage a couple houses, and you'll be able to get a 99 overall player. It's truly beautiful. It's American economy right there, baby. Uh, But I don't understand how people like that, or how people think that's a good thing, or just are okay with it even in my game. Again, at least with the Madden fan base, there's hashtags like, oh, fix Madden, take Madden away from EA, shit like that. With 2K, everything's silent. People are like, oh, yes, this game's fantastic. No, it's not. And I said we were going to get back to the 2K mode that the Yard, I'm pretty sure, was inspired by. And it just looks dead. It looks like one of those, like, partial MMO games that were really just glorified online chat rooms that closed in 2010. It looks like one of those, but even worse. The graphics here are not great at all, and there's almost nothing besides just shops, infinite fucking shops to spend your VC at. I mean, it's absurd. You just don't get the money to keep up with it. You have to pay for so much, and if you don't, you get like half of the experience. I will never understand it. I will never understand NBA 2K and why that game gets so little fucking attention on the shit that it pulls. Anyways, those are my rants on a bunch of shitty sports games. I'm sure most of you probably feel pretty similarly. These aren't exactly groundbreaking opinions. I just thought it would be fun to look at these two. Again, I didn't realize how truly terrible they were until I watched somebody play them. They're pretty fucking bad. See ya.